J.POWELL Collection, also known as Bow Tie Life.
That's right.
So we're just going to get into a little bit of who you are and what the company is about. So I guess you could tell us a little bit about your upbringing, like where are your roots?
Born and raised, Southside Jamaica, Queens, GRB, that's 134 on Guy Brewer, you know, the heart of Queens.
That's good stuff. So with you being from there, what influences from your neighborhood have translated into your company today?
It could be, it's really like a number of things. Truth of the matter is because you don't really see good things that come out of Queens. I mean, if you got a gift or a talent, some of those things can usually, you know, birth out to like a full-blown business or a company or a rapper or a basketball player. But that goes along with the growing of becoming this company and organization. It really got birthed out through a lot of the negative stuff and a lot of things that was taken from me, a lot of things that could have killed me and destroyed me. And it's just like a transfer to really take a negative thing and making it a positive. And you know, some of the great things got, you know, birthed out from there.
Okay, that's good. Was there maybe something specific, like a pivotal moment that, you know, something happened specifically to wake you up?
Right. Yeah, I want to say at one point in my life I was on what I would call the top of my game. Top of my game could be I had everything, cars, clothes, women, until I found myself in a situation where a group of individual people turned their back on me and betrayed me. And because of that betrayal, kind of left me in a place by myself.
Gotcha.
And when it left me in a place by myself, I had nothing but time but to reflect on me as an individual person. Let a man examine himself. And I had to really examine myself, or what direction I was going to in life, period. And that situation forced me to make a decision. And one of the greatest things that taken place in my life was that I gave my life to the Lord. And that there was a deposit from a brand new beginning. Nothing changed dramatically for that one night to the next night, but it was something there that took place in my life that really gave me a different mindset in life, period.
Well, I guess speaking of God, spiritually, what would you say, like what, do you have, I'm assuming you have like a church family or, you know, someone specific, maybe a pastor or, you know, how did they influence you?
Well, the truth of the matter is when I first got saved and gave my life to the Lord, I didn't get saved inside of the church. I had a true encounter with the Lord. With that one little decision that took place in my life, where everybody kind of turned their back on me, that was the opportunity or the prime time that the Lord really forced me into the corner to really rely on Him. That there has changed my whole entire life. So when I was once with a whole entourage and crew of people, I'm now by myself. And me being by myself at that time forced me in a corner to really rely on God. And from there, the transition has taken place in my life, and then I started to go to church. So I had one foot in and one foot out, you know, in the church, and one foot still in the streets because I was confused. And I didn't make, you know, I was still in a position of trying to make the right decision in my life, you know, so I didn't really know, you know. So, you know, most people either turn themselves away and say, you know what, I'm gonna give my life to the Lord. But at the end of the day, it's really living for God. And that was the transition that took place in my life. And that's kind of how all of the things started to align up when I really gave my life to the Lord and really made Him the focus and the center of my life, because then doors started to open.
Okay. Well, let's get to those doors starting to open. As far as the clothing line, like why bow tie? Like what inspired that?
And that's a good question. The bow tie life really came along with the transition. And it was fine because when I was going to church, of course, I wore a tie. My mother and father, they raised me to make sure I look presentable wherever I go. So I wore a tie. I wore ties before, but it was just something about a bow tie. I think it really set me apart from people. And you would be like, how could you take this little tangible thing and make him set apart and make him feel set apart from people? One, I had to learn how to tie a bow tie. It wasn't just a clip-on. I had to learn how to tie a bow tie. And that was there, showed me something that I am doing something new, right? So doing something new is that I'm putting on a bow tie, I have to learn how to tie it, and it's my new trend. Like, it's become trendy to individual people. And then all of a sudden, the influence of people that was around me, who might have seen me or know who I am, started to wear bow ties. And that transition of people wearing bow ties, me wearing bow ties, and I'm like this trendsetter now. I say, you know what? People are really starting to try to be like me. Right. I'm saying it humbly, but all of a sudden I say, you know what? I need to start making some money in this area. And then all of a sudden I started getting real creative, and these ideas started to come to me about designing, bow ties. And that's not all that I just do in designing bow ties, but they started to come to me. And then I started to be real creative. So my market was definitely the church, because now you had to dress up to par. You know what I mean? So when I was clubbing, I didn't go out with a bow tie, a blazer on, a suit jacket. At that time in that era, no, we wore baggy jeans. We wore baggy shirts. You got to have some Carhartts and some Timberlands on. So at the end of the day, that was a sign of a transformation in my life. You know what I mean? You're just not going to go everywhere with some shoes on or a bow tie on. That puts you in a different category. You know what I mean? It just really sets the bar. It sets the standard. You might not even know how to speak English, but let someone see you with a bow tie on, look sharp, with a suit and stuff like that, and they'd be like, wow, he looks nice. It almost opens up a door, an opportunity for you as soon as you put it on. You know what I mean? You start looking remarkable in it, so that came along with the change. That really came along with the change in my life. Besides the, spiritual things that are taking place in my life, that really signified something, and it really set me apart from other people. That look. Then people started to know who I am. And it wasn't about me, but I also have a ministry that God has given me. You know what I mean? So when you would ask and say, Jason Powell, or 25, the bow tie guy? Yeah, I know him. Yeah, you know what I mean? So now it's just that's my brand. So it's my brand, it's my company, it's my lifestyle. And this is just who I am.
Wow, okay. Well, your design process. I personally, I went on your website or your Instagram. I think it was your Instagram, and I saw a particular one. It was a studded leather bow tie. That has to be my absolute favorite.
I think it's a spike. I'm not sure.
Yes, the spiked leather tie.
All right, cool.
That has to be one of my favorites. It just says a lot. Like it's rough, it's trendy, it's stylish, it's personal. It's just so many things in that one, that one just particular accessory. Right. And, I have no shame. I don't care if it's for a man or not. If I'll wear it. I have no shame in that.
I'm making it for everybody.
How do you get to that process of figuring out how am I going to put this together? What material or what colors? What's your design process like?
It's a true thought. So a real thought comes to the mind, but until you write it down, it becomes a vision. Okay. All right? So I have a thought that comes to the mind, and then I write down the vision. Write down the vision and make it plain. So if I was to give it to my wife or give it to my niece or something like that, they can still pick up of where I left off at. So I said to myself, an idea was that I wanted everyone, and it seemed crazy, but I wanted everyone to have a bow tie. So that was the J. Powell Couture line. So it was a higher end, but it was edgy. It was different, you know, and that's what I really wanted to do, was create something different. I mean, some people can wear clip-on bow ties, but I wanted to put some on a person that said, you know, I'm gonna step out of a nightclub and I'm gonna have this spike life. You know, we got the Spice life, you know, we got the whole J. Powell collection, we got the bow tie life. It was a different life, it was a lifestyle of creativity that really came to me, and I really wanted everyone to have it, from rock and roll stars, you know, to pop stars. I want everybody next year that hit the Grammys, you gotta be wearing J. Powell, man. You have to. You wanna rock Tom Ford, we're gonna rock J. Powell. Okay. You know? So.
Well, you mentioned your niece and your wife. Tell us a little bit about your family. Like, how do they support you with this whole movement?
You know, at the end of the day, and sometimes like a little touchy, because that's my family. And I'm the head of the household. By any means necessary, I'm gonna do what I can to provide for my family. And that has always been embedded in me from my father that passed away years ago. But my father created something to bring something home. You know what I mean? We're not talking about apples to apples or who's the breadwinner. But at the end of the day, if I know I'm a provider and I'm supporting my family, and I know God is going to give me some type of idea to make things happen, it's still up to me. Because once God gives you a gift, it's your responsibility. Because the Bible says that the gift and the calling is out without repentance. So that means that God gives you a gift, but he won't take it away from you. Now, salvation is personal. Now, that's up to you. You want to work that out. But God says, here's the gift. It's up to you to produce. And that's with any artist, with any designer, from a person pumping the gas at a gas station, from a person swinging a golf club or swinging a baseball bat. They all have a gift that's inside of them to produce. And there's certain things that the Lord has given me to produce. One, not just for myself, two, for my family and for people around me. You know, you're a selfish individual if you don't keep your gift to yourself. You know, and I know for a fact of the place where I am now in my life, young entrepreneur, that God has given me this. He's given me these ideas. You know, a lot of people shy away from it, but the truth of the matter is, you living here off of somebody else's prayers. You know what I mean? So I'm very appreciative of people, what they have prayed for me, the ideas that God has given me, the vision that God has given me for me. So if I don't produce, this is the weight I put on myself. If I don't produce, my family fails. And we don't go to the next level. So that's as much as responsibility that God puts on me to make things happen. And not saying that my family's not gifted individual people, but they got to see my passion to want to accomplish things and get things done. And then it's like a domino effect. Once you set that plateau, you set that level there, it just trickles down. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, my little girl create a little cupcake, you know, maybe something, you know, people like, ooh, was her my mouth blue? Or something different. Yes. But still the creativity has to be there. And that creativity is a mandate and is an assignment that I have to complete to make sure I produce for my family, you know. So that's key to me. That's dear to me.
That's good. I know when your family can be involved, when they can be supported, when they can be a part of, it makes it that much easier.
Right.
It makes it that much better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Are there any challenges that you've noticed as far as balancing the differences between, you know, family fun and the work portion of it?
That's a great question. I have learned that I'm 32 years old. I have learned that from the last 2 years, that you gotta have that balance. And I don't care how big you are, successful you are, it's very important that if you have a family, that time is set apart for them, because that's gonna make it a little bit easier in your personal life. You know, there's gonna be friction. There's gonna be a pressure that's gonna be applied to you. Most successful people is not gonna tell you that somebody just handed it to me. They went through something. And everything you go through, you need to learn from everything that you've been challenged with or faced with. And I've been there. So where you may see me now You can't talk about none of my success if you don't talk about none of my failures. Because the failures just got me where I'm at now, with God's hand on my life. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, whatever you do, business, career, your family must be incorporated in that. That vacation time, that personal time, you have to keep that balance, period. And I'm learning that, and, you know, for the last, you know, 2 years. Because once you make anything your focus, something gets the back seat. But you got to learn how to have that balance. And that's in front of me, to make sure that balance throughout the day. I don't care how much I write down to get this done, to get that done. That might fall off. Family, let's have a meeting. You know what I mean? We're going to eat dinner together. So that's very important.
Wow, okay. Getting back a little bit to the fashion portion of things, is there anyone in particular, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a designer, but anyone in particular that kind of influences your style or the decisions that you make when you design something specifically?
I'm not going to belittle anyone, but I mean, people will have an influence. Forget the design stuff of how people may wear their clothes, or the way they fashion themselves may have an influence on me more. Reason why I'm saying that is because Louis Vuitton is great, right? Quality, from their price points is, you know, it's very expensive. Louis Vuitton does not have a clearance store. It makes them set apart. In the fashion, that area, I want the J.POWELL collection to be the same way. You know, I want people to be able to, one, have it, but there's just going to be certain type of quality and fashion and fabric where one is going to set a bar, it's going to set a plateau. You know, and so when it just comes down to different designers, I definitely want to tell you no. People's style, yeah, that's fine. But I'm not really impressed. You know, I'm not really impressed unless you leave a stamp or mark on me. So the people I can say in the industry, who have transitioned into this looking like a gentleman, you know, looking classy, looking regal, in that type of industry, I'm going to definitely tell you, a Jay-Z has shown Timberlands to alligator shoes. So, you know what I mean? Just those type of people that have transitioned. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that you can switch your style up. You really can switch your style up. So I can go from wearing a gold chain to not wearing a gold chain, to put on a bow tie, to put on a tie, to put on a suit, to know that the way I look on the streets is not going to get me into the door for an interview. Right. If I'm looking for a job. And he, as an individual person, 50 Cent, they have people like that have transitioned. And I think that that's very important for our culture and society to see anyway. So if I see you 24/7 on BET with Timberlands on and sweatshirt and stuff like that, the job I want, that's not acceptable. So let me just show you something different. You know, because you a trendsetter, so you're an icon. So you out before people. And this is what I'm feeling like, that now I'm out before people. And I want to say, hey, this is how you need to dress. Because dressing like this, you're going to carry yourself to a different level. Your character. You know, I saw a friend of mine, these public schools put these kids in uniform because they try to lessen the chance of them fighting. You're not going to be fighting in no suit. What you fighting in a suit for? You know what I mean? What you fighting in a suit for, or what you fighting in a bow tie for, and a shirt, with a button-up shirt? Who you? You ain't tough. Right. But they might feel that way when they got some jeans on, you know, some Timbs on, feel a little bit more swagger. But I believe that it's very important to embrace the transition. And I've learned to embrace that transition when it comes down to fashion, you know, setting the trend when it comes down to that. And that's what I believe in. Here go my bow ties. I want my bow ties on everyone. This is a trend. This is the hottest thing out, you know, right now. to some of my new lines that I'm coming out with, the creativity that I'm coming out. Nobody's seen it before. So you gonna say you do it? Oh, nah. That guy right there, bow tie life, yeah, it was him. So wherever you go, so I don't care if you bought it from somebody else. I'm like, nah, that's J. Powell, bow tie life. That's the type of buzz I want to create for people. Because I sure still believe that when you put it on, and I know it might be a farce to some people, it's going to build people level of confidence. I'm going in here today. I'm going to get this job. And you be like, whoa, you feel that confident about it? Yeah, I do. I'm going to sell myself. I'm telling you what it did for me. So that's why I want to meet people to understand too. So it's just more than just clothing. I want this thing to build your character, your charisma. You know, build your language, transition, you know, move from the cursing to go into the interview and say, how you doing, ma'am, sir? You know, people don't talk about that. You know, no more. You know, we got all these designers out here spend $5,000 and it's only benefiting you. But what are we getting from it? I'm looking good? You know, just that one time, but you know, that goes along with it, you know, because that'll build a person's, it'll build up a person's confidence, you know what I mean? So that's what I believe.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, then to touch on it, with some of your campaigns, I've noticed that you're in a lot of them, which is great. Yeah. So how important is it to you? It seems like it's very important to you to be that face of the brand. Like you are the brand. Right. And you're trying to get that.
And I'm creating that brand because there's just so much deep when we talk about transition. For prime example, I was an overweight kid. I was overweight as an adult. I dropped 35 pounds. That was part of the transition. It built my confidence when I have lost that weight. So let me put my face to it now. Because the people who do know me seen how fat I was with a bow tie on to slimming up. It's a transition that you see, and two, if he did it, I could do it. So it's more than just a bow tie. You know, be confident of who you are. And sometimes you'll see that influence that you may have on people because, yes, I've seen people around me drop weight. You know, not saying that that's the only thing, but that there showing somebody, you know what, Jason with that bow tie, hey, you looking good, you looking sharp. I mean, if I drop like 5 more pounds and I put it on, and you be like, whoa, for real? So I'm the brand of my company because I stand for something. There's a lot of things that I accomplished in my life, and when I got to the point of accomplishing it, I was like, oh, dang, I did that? Because I'm still striving to do better. So for prime example, I have a scholarship in my name for the men and women of exquisite taste. And the scholarship, pretty much, when I said that you were going to put a scholarship in my name, we always talk about everybody who has achieved goals in life. And I said, I want you to put a scholarship in my name where there are people who are unfortunate to get a 3.0 average. I didn't have a 3.0 average. I had deans tell me you would fail and you won't make it. And I had to go back and show them, listen, here you go. I passed. So what you said about me is not true. You know what I mean? So I wanted to create a scholarship where it would give people that push. You know, give them that push, be like, you are somebody. You know, you are somebody. So I can't just talk about just bow ties alone, but I have to talk about the brand. The brand is giving back. The brand is encouraging people. You know, the brand is, hey, you can be an entrepreneur. The brand is, you can be successful through this. Take these steps. Take this measure. A lot of people saying, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, but you ain't show us how to get there. Why you don't talk about your failures and the mistakes you made? You know what I mean? So that's the detail work of what I want to put out, you know, period. I want to put out there with my brand alone, that this is how you become who you are supposed to be. But you won't look good doing it, you know, so.
Good. So what things, we're actually almost in April of 2014. What does J. Powell Collection, what do you have planned for like the summer? It's like we skip through spring and just jump straight into the warm, hot weather. Right. Go to summer. So we
jumping into warm weather. We ain't get warm weather.
We're not
you know.
Halfway there. Okay.
I really am passionate about my Swarovski line with the crystals on the bow tie. You're gonna have. I want people to have two options. I have a cufflinks that just rolled out, and it says J. Powell Bow Tie Life. So my first cufflinks is out. You can get either Swarovski diamonds, or you can get regular diamonds. So I'm making sure I can touch everybody. Everybody's going to be able to afford it, and even those who are up there and that level of wealth can afford the ones that are also in diamonds. So that Swarovski line for the new bow ties, I put individual Swarovskis on the actual bow tie to give it that bling, to give it that pop. You know why? Because everybody want to stand out. You know what I mean? And they want people. What I'm seeing now in the industry is that everyone wants to be the first person with it. So my goal is kind of to really pitch to individual people. I'll be my own PR if I have to. I want to show you something that I want to make exclusive to you. Here you go. If I got to come knock on your door and say, listen, my name is J. Powell, Bow Tie Life. I want to show you a bow tie that I think you would really like. And that's the market scheme that I've been using to really knock on doors, to push it in. I'm still working on some things when it comes down to doing mass production and going into stores, but interviews have been set up. There have been some things of investing into the whole J. Powell collection, but I am really focusing on two aspects of it, really getting it into the right hands of people and really hitting some of these stores where people can just go to the rack and get it. But, oh, I got to get this. Oh, I got to get that new, J. Powell, that bow tie life, because I'm branching off. I'm really focused on men's accessories. And I don't think no designer have really taken that approach. They might have taken the approach with having a full suit on, and went for the big picture. But I want to go to the little route. I want to go to the little route when it comes down to the men's accessories, going down to belts, socks, the cufflinks, the bow tie, the handkerchief, the lapel pin, because everybody can't afford a suit. But people have suits. They might not have 4 or 5 suits, but take this one suit, switch up that bow tie, switch up that cufflink, switch up the lapel flower. It look like a total different suit. So that's what that's my market. That's what I want to hit. That's my goal. That's what the brand is about, and that's the approach we want to take. And then we'll get into the bigger scale of it, with the suits, the shirts, and stuff like that, and etc.
Okay, sounds good. So is everything right now? Everything is made by hand. Everything is made by hand.
I do have a mass production company that I am utilizing now. It takes the weight and the pressure off of doing such a thing like that, because my wife is hands-on as well, when it comes down to that, especially with the couture line. So those things have to be, handmade, because we'll create 7 of this, 7 of that, 7 of this, and somebody see it, they be like, oh, can you do it like this? Because everybody wants to be different. And listen, I want to have my own line, so it takes time. But that has helped. That has helped because now you're talking about a different price point, so everybody wants to be different. So here goes the price point for this, and we're going to get it done in X amount of time, so.
I always like to ask this question of people. I even ask it of myself. Take today, where would you be in 2 years from this day?
I only came up with a 1-year retirement plan.
Oh, excuse me.
I came up with a 1-year retirement plan, and even not retiring from my main job. My main job, I'm a manager at Lowe's, the improvement store. And management position, I want to be retired from there.
Okay.
So it'll free me up to do some of the things that I desire to do. Because it's not when you love something so much and you do it, it's not a job to you no more. You know what I mean? So that's why I want to get freed up from that area to focus on this area here with the other certain little entities and ministry and focus on a little bit of also teaching fundamentals with baseball and stuff like that, teaching ball players how to be ball players on the field and off the field. So I got my hands in a few things, but I'm still about empowering other people and encouraging them to, go ahead with their dream.
So I see that you brought a couple of examples for us to look at.
Yeah, this is the new stuff. This is the new stuff. This is my first pair of cufflinks, and I'm about detail, and detail is very important to me. You can see these are all put in by hand. All of these Swarovskis are put in by hand. This is my first stamp and seal of my new cufflinks, and you can also get them in diamonds. The mold would be slightly different when it comes down to the diamonds, because you know you got to put those in and stuff like that. So that's going to take a little bit more time. But we can do anything, and that's the difference. We can do anything from Swarovskis all the way down to 18 karat gold. So this is the first launch. You need to have these, especially if you ain't got no watch, no Breitling. You need to have these right here, right there, just shining, just glistening. So these are my first pair, and I'm excited about it because it's just is another entity, is another avenue for that men's accessories. What you need, the cufflink is only going to add value to your presentation, especially when you're wearing a suit. Especially when you wear that cufflink shirt. Something that little bit of appeal, wow, right there. That little bit of taste on a bone, and it sets you straight. So this is it right here. Make sure you get them. You can get them on the website now. JPOWELLCollection.com. Just click on a link to cufflinks, and you'll see the very first pair that I've designed and made, and hopefully there will be a few more that will be coming out. So go get them.
And did you bring any tie for us to take a look at?
Yeah, this is the tie, the bow tie I've been telling you about. This here, all by hand, where you can see the emerald green Swarovski dots. These are the polka dots. Like, the emerald green polka dots on here really just gives you that pop. It really just sticks out. You can take a handkerchief, a little handkerchief, put it in a pocket. It kind of like set that tone even with the suit and stuff like that. So this was that line, the new line I was telling you about, where I got a lot of confidence in this, and this is just gonna boom make you stick out. So this is what it's all about right now. Everybody want a little bling, and believe me, there's definitely a way we could put diamonds in them as well. So this is what it's about right here. The new Swarovski bow tie Life, new and exclusive. This is a limited edition. So again, man, JPOWELLCollection.com. Get one.
Okay. So before we conclude, I just want to ask: is there anything event-wise, anything that you have coming up that you want everyone to know about?
All right. Yeah, of course. Like I said last year, I got a scholarship in my name from the Men and Women of Exquisite Taste, and every year we want to be a blessing, because I truly believe if you want to stay blessed, you got to be a blessing. And October 17th is one of the nights where we give out the scholarships. That's the night we give out the scholarships. You have people that come all over from different countries, different states, to really buy tables. We need people to sponsor our young kids that's going off to college. They can always submit in the application. You can even go on my website and be able to submit your information in. We'll make sure we get it to some of our educators when it comes down to submitting the application in. You can go to JPOWELLCollection.com. This is what my brand is about, and I want to be able to still give back to our generation, give back to our community, and that always leads me to a point where it's been my heart and my passion to be able to feed 2,000 families. So this year with a few sponsors, and I want you to come out and really be a part of this and support it, from the Sean Bell Foundation. That was a good friend of mine who was killed a few years ago. They're one of the sponsors that will be there as well. So feeding these 2,000 families will take place in Queens, New York, 134 and Guy R. Brewer. And I'm telling you, we just want to set up some soup kitchens there. We want to be able to just give out turkeys and be a blessing to other people's families who are not fortunate to be able to have food or to prepare a meal. That's me. And that's part of me to giving back, for one, to my community and making sure that everybody eat, you know. So that's what it's all about. And if you need to find out more information, again, you can definitely go to my website, jpowellcollection.com. You can also find me on Twitter at JPOWELLBTL. The BTL stands for Bow Tie Life. Couldn't fit all those characters in the name. And also on Instagram, JPOWELLCollection.com. So, you know, follow me, follow some of my new designs and creativity. Following that creativity comes along with some inspiration. So I want to inspire people as they follow me as well. I don't want to leave people leaving empty-handed, you know. So there, I just want to also encourage people on my Twitter account again. So definitely follow me. Those are some big events that's coming up for me. Like I said, if you want to be a part of that, please feel free to go to my website. Just shoot me a little email. We'll be sure, my company will be sure to get back to you. So thank you.